Welcome back. I am your host. I am attorney Stephen Leahy, and this is the IRS Radio Hour on AM 560. The Answer.
The Answer.
Now, for all of you longtime IRS Radio Hour listeners, it's the blog segment. It's the blog segment. The blog. The blog.
I love that music. Usually I would talk about the United States Supreme Court decisions in this segment.
This is what I'm saying. I wish we had like a 3-hour show.
But today I wrote a blog, and I wrote a blog
what you read it on?
Endorsed Joan Lasonde for Congress.
All right, thank you.
And we want to know more about you, Joan. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Why are you running? Mm-hmm. Why are you running?
The why.
Wait, can we say that together?
I'm running.
Why are you running?
It's a tough battle.
It is a tough battle. We acknowledge the difficulty of the district. My name's Joan McCarthy Lasonde. Thank you so much, Stephen, for having me, Jim, Jake. This is a lot of fun on a Friday afternoon. Okay, so I am running. I am a
Okay, I'm gonna interrupt you because I want to know where you're from.
Okay,
tell me where you were born.
I was born and raised in the 9th District. I was born in Chicago. My family moved out to Skokie afterwards. Both of my parents are were Chicago public school teachers.
Oh. So where'd you go to school?
I went to St. Scholastica on the north side, Rogers Park.
Oh, I love those Catholics.
That's right. My father used to say, get yourself an education. Everybody needs an education. It's the one thing that people can't take away from you.
Absolutely true.
I'm a big believer.
Even with big debt, you still have
still have the degree, hopefully.
They can't take that away from you. That's true.
What are you looking at, Jake? Everybody knows I don't have a degree.
Oh, stop.
But I'm still doing it, ladies and gentlemen.
But you went to college here in Illinois, too, didn't you?
I went to University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana.
Okay.
And I am running to fight for people, for women, for children, for the poor, the most vulnerable. I'm a working mom with over 25 years professional experience, and I'm fighting for the system. It's broken. Our system is broken. My husband and I are foster parents. We have a little girl who's lived with us for 3 years now. She's from the 9th District, and I have seen firsthand DCFS and how the government has failed these children.
Okay, well, that's a whole nother show we talk about Illinois, because Illinois has really failed. I think I failed their citizens, and I think our federal government pretty much the same has failed us. So.
Yes, our government has failed us.
And so you're running, and it's again you acknowledge that it's a tough race.
It's a tough race. My opponent has been in office for 24 years, so she's part of the ruling political Washington establishment.
I think it's so Chicago, that whole district, the history of the district.
Yes,
it's so Chicago.
She's tied to Rahm Emanuel. Absolutely, the machine. It's difficult, but there's time for change. I respect my opponent. She has been in office for 24 years, and it's time for new energy. It's time to say no to the status quo. It is time to say enough.
Amen.
If it was only the easy ones, that people ran for only
right.
It's always a difficult thing,
and that's too long for even the best of people.
I agree with that. I don't know if you're much of a term limit person, are you?
Ooh, you know what? I am not a politician. I am an everyday citizen who is trying to make a difference. I am for term limits. Part of the corruption, I believe, of our government is these government officials who have been in office, as Jake says, longer than he has been alive.
But it's amazing to me, I think
God bless you for at least saying that, because that is so true. And no, you don't hear that.
I know
you don't hear a lot of people.
You're a big advocate for that.
I am a big advocate for term limits.
Term limits.
That's the only fair way of doing this.
Absolutely.
That's the only fair way of doing this.
How long has Michael Madigan been down in Springfield? 1971.
I would say 42, 45 years.
And nobody ever points a finger at that man.
I agree with that.
45 years.
I don't want to get off on state politics again.
Because this is federal.
They keep talking about Rauner, but
I know. It's just so much.
I will term limit myself. After 8 years, I will step down. I am not a career politician. I am not in this race for fame and wealth and money. I am here to make a difference. I recently turned 50 years old, And without being Debbie Downer, I've realized that I've probably spent more time on this earth than I have left to spend, and I'm going to make a difference. I'm fighting for kids.
Well,
Here.
I'm going to tell you. Here. I'm going to tell you, Joan. I would have never guessed you're 50 years old. But
half a century.
But I know it's hard to believe, but I'm over 50, so
I wouldn't have guessed that.
I know it's hard.
Well, considering we both have kids in high school, we're probably the same age.
That's true. So, I want to mention that Jake and how I met Joan was through my son Jake.
Wonderful young man. Not only does he work for our campaign, but he also works for Congressman Dole up in the 10th.
I work for a lot of different people.
Yeah, you do.
Both of you here.
He volunteers. He doesn't volunteer for me, but he volunteers. And he's out there. We were talking.
We need more young men like Jake.
I agree, and there's a lot. And Jake's involved in a lot of youth groups that are trying to bring the capitalism, conservative message, libertarian message,
free markets, individual responsibility,
free markets, free people.
That's right.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Absolutely, free markets. Let me tell you a quick story about Jake. So the thing that most impressed me about Jake when he came into our office is very casual. He's always dressed so nicely. He's in a shirt and a tie. And often I would say, hey, Jake, are you free on Saturday? And I didn't realize this. He said, oh, I have a job. I work at McDonald's.
Yeah, he does.
So it's like these young kids who are out there and who are working and volunteering and being part of the community and getting involved. I mean, he's an excellent example and a role model for all.
I agree.
And I'm a mom, so I know.
I look up to Jake.
We're about the same height, Jake.
Even I look up to Jake.
Hey, stick to the politics, buddy.
I really do. But again, I think the term limits is. Why do we have
term limits?
Why do we have presidential term limits? Because
8 years.
He couldn't vote on it.
Yes.
Right? So that's the problem with I think is that you have to look to Congress to vote on it, and I don't know if that'll ever happen. I know it'll never happen here.
And if anybody introduces it, then they'll get kicked off of their committees and lose their charity.
I'm going to introduce it.
Well, good.
So that
we
won't
need
happen.
term limits. Absolutely.
And that we do need politicians who aren't afraid.
Yes.
And that's so many of them go to Congress or go to the legislature and then they're trying to become part of the crowd.
There's a book that's coming out. A guy just is writing saying, hey, we vote on stuff we don't even know the outcome.
Oh, they don't
do it to make it look like
we have to vote on it to read it.
Nancy Pelosi, didn't she famously say we have to pass the Affordable Care Act in order so that we can read it? That's right.
That's unbelievable to me, and
people just let that go by.
Now,
and that's what's
you mentioned that you're a foster mother, but you have kids. I
have 2 daughters, biological daughters. Both are going to be in high school next year, and then we have a younger daughter who lives with us. She's been with us for over 3 years, and I've seen firsthand DCFS and the government and how we are failing these young kids, and also failing her birth mother. I know her mom. I see her mom at court. Her mom has drug issues, and we are not helping her. We're letting her fall through the cracks. The girl who lives with us she's one of 8 kids. This is a broken system, and all those children live with different families.
Oh, that's a shame.
And it's happening right here in Chicago. I'm all for helping the poor and the immigrants and the Syrian refugees who are coming in. But you know what? We have to help our own first.
I think we've lost sight of that.
We have lost sight of it. Look at all the veterans that are homeless.
Very good
in
example.
the streets of Chicago.
Perfect example.
Yes, it's nice that we want to help the Syrian refugees. I'm all for helping poor people. But we've got to help our own first. And
the money we spend on this is just amazing to me. And the immigration issue, the whole immigration issue. It's an amazing amount of money that we spend, and we should focus on our own people. I don't think there's as much as El Presidente thinks that. I don't think it's racist.
Charity begins at home.
Absolutely true.
There are people down the street everywhere here that need our own help.
That's
Absolutely
right.
true.
And if you need help with your tax problems, with your cascading tax issues.
Everyone needs help with taxes.
That's right. That's right. That you need to call the law office of Stephen A. Leahy and open tax resolutions at 312-664-6649 or visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com. .com. Now, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned because after the commercial break, we're going to have more questionnaires with Joan over here. We have, what is it?
Attorney Leahy.
Attorney Leahy.
Mr. Attorney Leahy.
I was thrown off today.
Remember me?
Son Leahy.
Remember me? It's not about you.
Student extraordinaire.
That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned because more is coming at you right after the commercial break. I'm on AM 560.
The answer.
The answer.